In this, there are lots of you talk about things like the head of Medusa. There's all of these little things, these myths. But what are myths?
Well, myths are made up stories, usually about supernatural beings that people tell each other, especially in olden days, to explain the world and how it works. For example, question, where does lightning come from? Answer, Zeus, the king of the gods, has a collection of bolts that he throws down when he's angry. Now, there are lots of different myths from different cultures, like Eskimo, Norse, Native American,
Yeah,
Middle
because
Eastern.
because it's not Zeus for some people. They think that Thor is the god of lightning and thunder.
Exactly. But the Greek myths are really well known and beloved, not just by us, but by the ancient Greeks and the Romans too.
So what made you want to hide, gave you the idea of hiding Greek myths in the Roman mysteries? Because I'm right in saying there is a Greek myth in every single book, isn't there?
Absolutely. There's a Greek myth, at least one main Greek myth embedded in each Roman mystery. And I got the idea from my mentor, John Truby, a Hollywood screenwriter, script doctor. And he taught me about story structure. He said that the best stories and movies have a hidden myth to give the story depth and appeal. For example, the Oscar winning movie My Fair Lady is based on the myth of Pygmalion, a Greek king who sculpted his ideal woman and then prayed to the goddess of love to bring her to life.
And when she did, she was very cold, and all she wanted was a room somewhere.
The thing is, the interesting thing about that one is your ideal boyfriend or girlfriend too perfect?
Well, this is the thing, I mean, particularly if they're anything like me, I'm far too perfect. But okay, so big reveal then. For those of us who don't know, what is the Greek myth in the Thieves of Ostia?
There are, as you said, there are lots of little myths I mentioned, but the deeply embedded Greek myth is the actually think of the three-headed hellhound that guards the gates of the underworld.
Fluffy.
Yes, no, Fluffy from Harry Potter. What's his name from
Oh,
Greek or Latin?
Cerberus.
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 Well done. Now here's a test. I think you'll find this easy.
Oh
Which
no.
myth did I base the 12 tasks of Flavia Gemina on?
Hercules?
Yes. And I'm not the only author to do it. Agatha Christie wrote a book called The 12 Labors of Hercule
Oh, Hercule
Poirot. Get
Poirot.
it?
Poirot.
And of course, there's the 12 tasks of Asterix. So I'm not the only author who thought of doing that.
So here's an idea. You could, as a home activity, choose a myth and set it in another time and place. So you could write a fantasy version of Pandora's box. You could make it Pandora's brand new car, or you could make Pandora a boy or an animal, or you could draw a comic strip sci-fi version of Pygmalion, the man who created his ideal companion, maybe instead of like modeling it in clay or teaching a very common woman to speak posh, maybe it's somebody could make a perfect like video game character or something like that, and they could fall in love with the game. Who knows? You could have your hero make their ideal pet. Get creative, get thinking. Choose one of your favorite myths and set it in your own ideal place and time.